to hashtags? No, as in, like, is there a limit to how long a hashtag could be?
No, it's limited to whatever amount of characters you're allowed to put into something.
So what is the longest hashtag?
Hashtag. I don't know. Would probably be hashtag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Apparently, there's an agency that created the world's longest hashtag for A and W, but it does not tell me what the hashtag is.
Stupid.
Oh, I see. So IMS's hashtag for the hand-breaded chicken tenders Texas toast sandwich is 164 characters too long to eat. So it's like it's specific to that of, I guess, Twitter, I suppose.
That makes sense.
So does that mean? Wait, okay. So how many characters is the character count for Twitter?
Well, it used to be 160, but it's different now. So I don't know. Okay, cool. We're live. I don't know if that's like kind of like an old thing or if it still applies, you know.
Wait, okay, so the hashtag would require, no, it'd be,
so I think there might be like 260 characters now on Twitter.
All right, I kind of want to figure out what this hashtag is. What is it? I'm actually genuinely curious now. This is insane. Can you give me, please, what this hashtag? I would like to know, sir. I would like to know what the hashtag is. What's the current longest hashtag? It's taking too long for me to find you, so I'm going to go twitch.tv, go to my channel, and oh, add time. Whoa.
Time for a podcast.
I just got an advert for Giuseppe Pizza.
Nice. There's a Giuseppe's Pizza that I used to go to that was near the bar that I bartended at.
Oh.
Giuseppe's Pizza.
Oh, how interesting. What the hell? How does that work? No. Apparently, the longest hashtag in its entirety, with 557 characters on Twitter.
Oh, what? How?
VIII and then repeated.
How could they make it that many characters, though?
Je ne sais pas.
Je ne sais pas.
Yeah, I don't know. He cheated. That's not even Twitter. Look at the top left corner. It's Twiffo. What the hell's Twiffo? What? What am I looking at? Oh, God, this is ridiculous.
Mystery goes down the internet rabbit hole.
I'm kidding. I don't understand. Why? Why? Just why?
Why? Oh, why?
Explain this to me. Okay. Guinness World Record.
I want to know Guinness Book of World Records. What it says.
The book of the Guinness. Guinness World Record for longest Twitter hashtag has been announced. This is July 25th of 2017, apparently.
Hey.
Oh, this is a fairly long one, but this is 773 characters. How is this possible? This doesn't make sense. And this is actually a really long one, too.
Yeah.
Fun fact, 773 characters is quite a few characters, in case you didn't know.
Sounds like it. You okay if I start the podcast?
I thought it started after the 5-minute countdown.
It would be the time to do it now, but I was just nervous about interrupting what you were doing.
Yeah, but like, okay.
Oh, you know what it was is like, I think last time I just got into it and then you're like, oh, well, a heads up would have been nice. So here I am. I was like, well, maybe I give him a heads up.
No. Last time I said, you know, the title or like the episode number was like coming in quite late into the episode.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because like a couple episodes before, we were like, oh, welcome to episode 95, like 45 minutes into the episode. Remember? No?
I do remember that. Maybe. No, I do remember that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I feel like you don't. I feel like you're just nodding and saying yes.
Wow. I do remember.
That's not what I'm getting out of this vibe here.
Well, regardless of what you say, that is not what I am understanding, sir.
So apparently, as I was mentioning before the podcast,
yes,
which you can probably catch on twitch.tv/RedSpartan Podcast.
You can.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's like a 5-minute chat before we even get the podcast recording going, just in case you guys didn't know. I was looking at what the Guinness World Record for the longest Twitter hashtag.
And it is.
Well, I mean, I'm a little concerned about saying what this hashtag is, but apparently it's 773 characters.
I don't understand, how could that be a hashtag when that doesn't even work on, like, I think that's too long for Instagram. I think that's too long for Twitter. It's not too long for Facebook, but can it be even considered a hashtag if it doesn't work on like the major social media platforms?
What if it's just a picture of a hashtag? In which case, then, are you limited to how large the size would therefore be? Like, you know how like an image size for a social media post is like a specific size?
Yes.
In which case, how small of a like, you know, font can I put in for the longest hashtag on Twitter?
Yeah, but I don't think that it would matter for images. For instance, let's say we had hashtag Red Spartan or something like that as like the hashtag for our posts, the hashtag for our whatever, our images. If people wanted to tweet at us or see the conversation, it would be like hashtag Red Spartan, right?
Right.
If somebody were to upload an image and put in hashtag Red Spartan into the image, it would not show up in a search during the hashtag, like searching for a hashtag Red Spartan. So I don't think that counts.
Ah, okay. I see. I guess that would make sense. No, I wasn't talking. No, I wasn't talking to her. Siri's thinking I'm talking to her.
Siri, stop fucking listening to me.
And then the time that you need her to.
I know. Then she's like, huh? What? There's a part of me that wishes that like the AI like would respond that way. If I was like, you know, if I said something but like maybe I mumbled it, like can you speak up please? And then I'm like, wow, okay, let me try that again.
Does Siri then go like yeah, volume up 1 2 3, volume up 3 4 5?
Yeah, right. Like Siri just goes like testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. Can you even hear me, dude?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Hello.
All right, well, welcome to episode 95 of the Red Spartan Halo podcast.
Let's go, dude.
I can't help but notice that you never put in an actual title. You just put in episode 95.
You know what? I think I did that last week too for episode 94 because every time we talk, like it's like I will put in. I shouldn't say every time. This happened probably one time, and then I was like, well, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't do that. I had an idea for what the episode would be about, and then we ended up just like organically having a totally different conversation. And so I thought like, okay, you know what? Anybody who's going to come to the live stream is going to come to the live stream. I don't think that they're going to come to the live stream, see the title as something, and then be like, okay, I'm out of here. So I thought like, okay, well, let me just leave it kind of generic so that way we, you know, somebody comes in. If somebody comes in and the title says like, you know, talking about, I don't know, Forge, but then we're in the middle of a conversation about something totally different and it takes up the entire podcast, you know, I just thought like maybe leaving it blank would be better. But the more I think about that, I don't know. The other way works too. So who knows?
You know what? Honestly, I don't mind the actual episode number just being it, and then you can figure out what the title is later.
Yeah.
But then that kind of forces it on maybe you or me to kind of be like, oh wait, we should be actually talking about this.
Yeah, forget this actual conversation we're having. We need to pretend that we actually want to talk about this. Like, no thanks.
Just wait until the spin-off series that we make, which is like off-topic Red Spartan Halo podcast or something, you know?
Yeah, off Halo.
Oof.
Ooh, sounds like a threat.
We'll workshop that a bit. We'll workshop that a bit.
We'll come up with some ideas.
Yeah, exactly. A few ideas we can come up with, I'm sure. That's
off Halo.
Off Halo. No, that just sounds gross.
3 for 3 sentence menu.
Pineapple.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant it like a threat almost. Actually, I didn't even mean it like a threat, but like.
Are you threatening 343 now?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was like 343 would send us. I said they would send us a menu. In all transparency, I got home today from work, and I was working until like 8 o'clock, just like studying. I actually didn't get home till like 9 o'clock, and then I just passed out on the couch. And so like if I say some stupid stuff, I normally say stupid stuff, but if I say really stupid stuff, it's because my brain is like slowly realizing I'm conscious. So 3 for 3 would send us a DM, not a menu. They send us a DM saying, is that a threat?
Yeah, that's a great episode 95 where we decide in the first 5 minutes we're just gonna threaten 343. Good job.
It's the Off Halo podcast.
Yeah.
Someone says this in an email like,
here first on the Red Spartan Halo podcast.
Our one listener for that show is like, I've always wanted to off Halo. Like, oh jeez. That's not okay. Let's send them to the FBI.
Oh no, we're not going that far, are we?
CBI? What do you guys got called up there? What's it called?
What do we call what?
What's your version of the FBI? What is your national law enforcement agency in Canada?
That would be the Canadian Moose Infantry Division.
ID. Okay, the CMID.
Yeah. No, we have the FBI as well.
Oh wait, it's actually called the FBI?
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Or do we? What if it's the CIA? No, that's the Central Intelligence Agency.
Do you not know? Or are you just fucking with? I feel like you're just messing with me right now.
I remember you distinctly saying that you are still working out the fact that you might be just a bit conscious or something like that.
Exactly.
So kind of
taking advantage of that.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
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 You're making me hungry.
No, oh no, we don't need you hungry now. We just started. My guy.
I'm hungry actually, so I'm gonna go and eat. I'll be back later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be back in like 45 minutes if you want to just.
Are you telling me to hold down the fort?
Yeah, it's just 45 minutes. Do a solo show. I'm gonna make some bacon and eggs for myself.
Listen, my guy, I'm not you. I can't do a solo show. That's not how that works.
You can pretend to talk to me.
First, I can't do a solo show.
Sure you could. Anybody can do a solo show.
No, I could not. I could not carry the conversation with myself. I sound like a complete fool.
Yeah, well, that's how I usually sound when I do it by myself.
That's not... Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
So...
How have you been?
I have been alright. Just been busy with work.
Yeah.
It's funny because the theater's been dead as shit, yet
really?
I'm the one busy at work. Yeah. There's nothing really big out at all. It's gotten so crazy bad that like right now from like Monday to Thursday we have Tuesday pricing for all tickets, and then Saturday we are selling tickets for $3.
Whoa, $3 tickets.
Now, I don't know if that's all over North America or if that's just Canada only, because it was a decision that was made by like the North American Theater something.
Whoa, wow, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I think Saturday, at least in Canada, we should be selling tickets for $3.
You know what theater should do?
Anything, like, you know, that's D-Box, that's IMAX, that's, you know,
right.
Anything according to the email that was sent out.
How come theaters don't do more like live things? For instance, hear me out. if I were to go and watch a Flyers game, I would love to go watch a Flyers game at like a bar or at a friend's house or something like that. But if there was a theater that was like, hey, come here and watch a Flyers game, and I could be in a room with like 100 other people who are all excited about the Flyers, and we could watch it live with the incredible sound system that the theater has, like, I feel like that could be really awesome. Or I don't know, maybe like a movie marathon, you know, like, okay, all 8 Harry Potters, whatever, or like 4 of them, or the Lord of the Rings movies, like more like movies that have already released but like coming back as like a special event. Is that hard to do because it takes a while to get the licensing for that kind of thing, or is it just like we're not thinking about this kind of thing? You being an expert in the theater world, can you shine a light on that idea?
Redacted.
I want an actual answer to that.
Redacted.
Well,
I can't really speak on behalf of like headquarters or management and all that kind of stuff. I'm just the guy that fixes things, you know.
I just wasn't sure if like maybe you had an idea of like why that doesn't happen as often.
I don't know why they make decisions that they make, but we do have all sorts of other things. For example, Stars and Strollers is a thing that happens on Wednesdays, and then there's like the Family Favorites that happens on Saturdays.
Okay, that's exactly what I'm probably talking about then. Family Favorites. That's all movies that have already come out, right?
Yeah, so Family Favorites is essentially like one of the shows, one of the first shows of the Saturday mornings, where the tickets are very severely like discounted, like maybe like $5 or something a ticket, for example. And these are movies that have come out, you know, fairly long time ago.
Okay.
Kind of thing. Sometimes it's also like newer movies that came out earlier in the year. For example, I think like 2 weeks ago we had the new Fantastic Beasts playing.
Okay.
For like $5 on a Saturday morning.
Okay.
I think last week we had like The Secret Nymph, and such.
Okay.
One of my favorite movies was coming up. I just don't remember which one it was. Oh well, it's not like I'm gonna be able to watch it anyway, so I'll probably be working it.
It'd be cool if you guys did like okay, let's say okay, I did this one before I saw Top Gun Maverick. Like I made a point to go see the original Top Gun. Mm-hmm. I said go see, but like, you know, I just watched it at a friend's house. So like, you know, if like, I don't know, it's like, say maybe like, okay, the Spider-Man movie was coming out, right? Spider-Man, what's the one where all 3 of them are in it?
Spider-Man No Way Home. Oh, how convenient. That's coming out this weekend.
I was about to say A Long Way Home. I don't know why. Is that a different one?
Nope. Far From Home is a different one.
Okay. All right. So like, okay, maybe like the weekend before, you got like the Amazing Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the second Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the third Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, you know, like playing like all the Spider-Man movies to get all the Spider-Man people who are all jacked up and excited about it, you know, having it like playing the week before or something like that, you know, to kind of get everybody ready. Like, I feel like that would be really cool too.
That would be cool. And it kind of happens. It just happens on Family Favorite nights. So
okay.
Like, for example, very recently, I think we did Kung Fu Panda 2, and then Kung Fu Panda 3. But we won't do it for like much larger. Like Harry Potter, we did for like, I think it was like 1 or 2 weeks, and then we're like, yeah, no, this is like 7 movies, so
right. Yeah, Harry Potter's tough. That is like Lord of the Rings, the original trilogy, or like the Hobbit movies seems like a little bit more doable than Harry Potter.
I have yet to see Lord of the Rings like come back for like a Family Favorites or something. I have yet to see
wow. Okay.
Yeah, but
I feel like that one's
this weekend we have like Spider-Man No Way Home coming out again with like extended minutes or something, so like more scenes will be in it. So I'm sure people will be coming out for that. But I mean, lately there just haven't been like too many big movies coming out.
Right.
Like the summer blockbuster season is now officially done, basically.
Which makes sense. We're at the end of August.
Yeah, we're going into school hours where, you know, we're not opening till like 2 or 3 o'clock p.m. now. Right, and closing at like, you know, 11, like 10:45 ish or whatever. But it still doesn't change the fact that I still have a bunch of shit to do. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, like for example, we opened at like 3 today, but yet I was at work at like 11:30, no 9:30 today, I think. Yeah,
Sheesh.
9:30. Like you see what I mean? Like so, like I have hours that I'm doing a whole shift by the time people are arriving for their shift.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Perks of being maintenance.
There you go. That's right. Ain't that the truth? I've started my new job, which I had already started last week.
You said you were doing a test, right? Or you're studying for a test just before the community game night last week. How'd that go?
So I was able to do that one, and it wasn't as much of a test as much as it was like there were a bunch of things that I had to have memorized. And my management basically called me in the morning and went okay, there's something. Okay. We have a sales process that we go through whenever we are helping somebody figure out if they're going to buy a brand new shower or bath or not. And that is called the sales process. And you have to learn the sales process. And this whole thing is like a 2-hour long ordeal, like hour and a half to 2 hours. Because we have to show people, we have to go up and inspect people's bathrooms and take a look at everything and then go over and do like a product demonstration. And so there's a lot of steps to this thing, and so it's a lot to memorize. And there's certain sections that are called specific things. For instance, there's one section called the agenda, and that's basically what we tell people when we first get into their home for what's going to happen. So for instance, I don't know if I should do this, but the agenda is basically okay, Mystery, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go up and take some measurements in your bathroom. I'm just gonna need your help with that. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out to my car. I'm gonna grab some product samples. When I bring them back in, we'll come back over here to your kitchen table. We'll sit down again, and I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about our company. I'm gonna go over some of the other options that are out there and how that's going to affect the estimate. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna literally design your dream shower. In wrapping up, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at, and then I forgot a part. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to leave you with an exact quote that's good for an entire year. So if 9 months later, you're not ready to do anything today, that's no problem. We come back, later and you have this quote that's good for an entire year. So 9 months later, if you want to, you can say, hey, Jonathan, I'm totally ready to get that shower done. We don't have to give you another quote. You already have that, and it's good for an entire year, regardless of how market prices have changed. So after that, in wrapping up, I'm going to just share this killer promotion that we have going on right now. And, based on your level of interest, a special program that we might have. And then finally, I'm going to just share some flexible funding options that we have available for all sorts of budgets. How does that sound?
Incredibly long.
Now, I expanded it a little bit, and I also messed up in one section. But, okay, it's basically... There's a lot of
so wordy, it's insane. I can't even remember what the last thing you said was.
Yeah, I tracked it.
Remodeling shower or kitchen or counter or something.
That's definitely my fault. It's definitely not supposed to be as long as I made it. So that is me just waking up and trying to even remember it. But essentially, that's the agenda. So they will call us in the morning and they'll literally driving into work. They'll be like, all right, what's the agenda? All right, what's the value statement? Okay, what are the 10 steps of the selling process? All right, what are the 9 steps of the pre-close? They do that kind of thing. So I take this job very, very seriously. I quit being a mail carrier in order to pursue this job. And so during this time where I'm training and I'm learning new things, I want to make sure that I am on top of it, and I want to make sure that I'm not behind and that they don't think that I'm behind. So I'm taking it very seriously. I was literally studying at the office up until they set their alarm system and they arm it, so that I could study and kind of rehearse things and go over things. So I'm trying to do my best here. There's a potential to make a lot of money, and I want to take full advantage of that. I don't think there's any sense in quitting the post office just to make the same amount of money somewhere else.
That sounds great. It sounds like you're taking a lot of initiative here.
Oh, well, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
So in the morning when they call me, those have been going well. I've been saying the right things. I've been rehearsing them back, and so the preparation that I'm putting in, aside from what I just did to you tonight, has mostly been pretty good. So
that's okay. It's all good. You're still waking up. It's completely
exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
That's what it is, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Great.
It's fantastic.
So yeah.
Did you know at work I have a bullshit list?
Do you? What's that mean? Is that like things that you think are bullshit, or people that you think are bullshit?
Like people that I find that bullshit a lot, or the quality of their bullshit is actually really good.
Oh.
So, like, I have a tier list of bullshitters, and now lately these cast members have been trying to top themselves on the bullshit list.
Like on purpose because they're aware of the list?
Yeah, they're aware of the list now.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Now they're being competitive amongst each other.
To be the best bullshitter?
To be the best bullshitter. Now, some people are thinking it's quantity, the amount of bullshit.
Nah,
the
never.
quality of the bullshit. But no, it's not the quantity, it's the quality of the bullshit.
It's never the quantity. Come on, guys. Amateurs.
Never.
Amateurs.
The last thing I want is like lots of bullshit coming from you. I want good bullshit coming from you.
I want good bullshit. I don't want lots of bullshit, please.
Exactly. So they're all just, you know, finding it like funny to try to bullshit me, and you know, I might have shot myself in the foot there, but you know, it is what it is.
That's all right.
I mean, it's giving them some form of entertainment, I suppose. So there is that.
Like, I can't
be the mean cast leader anymore, I suppose, if I'm making them laugh.
You got to find ways to enjoy your work. So you know what? If it's something like who's the best bullshitter, that seems like a way that wouldn't kill productivity. You know, it sounds like a fun kind of thing.
Quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
Quality, not quantity.
What's the best bullshit you've gotten so far?
I don't know why I decided to say that, but I just did.
What's that? Wait. Is that the bullshit? I'm so confused right now. Are you still there? Mystery literally said, what did I say? I said, what's the bullshit that you've heard? And then he said, I'm so confused right now. Are you still here? What is going on? You know what? He accidentally got disconnected. That's hilarious. I thought he was pulling some kind of prank on me here. Really what happened was he just kind of got disconnected. That is kind of super hilarious. Okay, well, let me go ahead and send him another invite. In the meantime, why don't we continue the conversation? Let's go ahead and talk about some more bullshit that's going on. What do you mean? Oh, there he is. He's back. Look at that, dude. I thought you were effing with me on like a whole other level. I was so confused what was happening. That's okay. It's not your fault.
Yeah, no, it went super Mr. Roboto.
Oh, really?
And then like, yeah, and then I couldn't hear you, so I refreshed.
I was like, what's the best bullshit that you've seen? And then you said something like, I forget exactly what you said, but then you weren't talking at all. And I'm like, what is happening right now? Is this a prank?
Oh, what's the best bullshit I've seen?
Yeah. Highest quality bullshit that you've found.
The highest quality?
Yeah. That you can share. Okay.
I'd have to think about that and get back to you.
All right, we'll think about it and then come back.
Tune in next week where the topic is bullshit.
Tune in next week to hear about all the bullshit.
Oh man. Okay, so what's going on in the Halo world? Do you know what's going on by any chance?
There's one thing that's kind of going on, kind of.
Okay, what's that?
You know what? Speaking of next week being filled with bullshit, we'll get to talk about a lot of bullshit. Earlier today, Sean W., he's a Halo YouTuber, he had tweeted, he said, Halo community right now waiting to hear if Halo Infinite co-op is delayed, because on the roadmap that we got way back when, do you remember that roadmap?
No, but yes, I do remember it. I just want to say no for the sake of saying no.
Okay.
I do remember it. But
there was a part that said Halo Infinite co-op late August target. Now, of course, it's just a target date. That's what they wanted. That's where they thought that they were, you know, ready at the time. Clearly, it is not coming, so that's why Sean W. had tweeted that. But Sketch had retweeted, or not retweeted. Sketch had responded He said, targets are a stake in the ground at the time, but of course are subject to change, which is totally fair.
Okay.
But in his next sentence, he says, we'll have a roadmap update tomorrow on what to expect with Infinite in the months ahead. So tomorrow, we're just a day early here. Tomorrow, we are going to get a new roadmap. So we'll break that down next week for sure.
Oh, new roadmap tomorrow. Tomorrow. You mean today, based on if you're actually listening to the podcast.
Oh, that's a good point. If you're listening to the audio only version, then we should hear about it later on today. But the discussion will happen during the week of the first week in September is when the discussion will happen.
Ah, okay. I see. That's fair. Fair enough.
The other thing that's going on is that Halo, I think yesterday, had tweeted, incoming transmission, the yappening, it's happening. And it says September 6th, hashtag Halo Lone Wolves. So that's an event that's coming up for Halo Infinite starting September 6th. And that's just going to be, it sounds like it's going to be like a fun event. They might have like a playlist of like goofy games or something like that. So, it should be a little bit fun. So the week of September 6th, be prepared for the yappening. How do you feel about the yappening? Is that like, do you like that? Give me Mystery's feelings on the yappening.
Participated in the yappening. It wasn't that bad. I enjoyed it. There was some fun, neat little game types in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's one of the goofier things out of Halo, especially 343's Halo, and I don't know. I'm like, I don't know if I'm just like an old man or if I hate fun, but like the yappening. The yappening has always just seemed like a little too silly for me, and I've never really kind of gotten it. So I don't know.
You need to like unwind, stop being competitive, and just shoot shit for the sake of shooting shit.
Shut the fuck up, Trax. Relax and enjoy the yappening.
Okay, so that's what you translated it to. That's not what I said.
I was just adding on to it.
Oh, I see.
So
you're putting words in my mouth. I'm
putting words in my mouth, along with yours.
So that's something that you.
See, that's gonna be the new way I say that from now. I'm gonna be like, I'm not putting words in your mouth. These are words in my mouth, just along with yours.
Oh, I see. Okay, it's just like it's complimentary words.
Correct. Right. If you're the fork, I'm the knife.
Why do you have to be the knife?
If you're the knife, I'm the fork.
Why do I have to be the fork?
If you're the ketchup, I'm the mustard.
Oh dear. What about relish? Poor guy.
Nah, dude. Do you like relish?
Not really.
I'm part of the F.
Well, then again, I don't
team.
really like mustard, so.
You know what? I didn't like mustard for the longest time, so I kind of get it.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but that's what's happening in the Halo. Well, not much. Some new stuff has come out about Forge, which is kind of cool. You know who Duquesne is, right? We've mentioned him a couple times. He is especially known for his race maps for Forge, and what's really cool is that people are finding ways to do like some kind of like Mario Kart stuff in Halo Infinite's Forge. So, actually, there's another thing that is a big deal. So they've made turtle shells, bananas, and today I saw something where they made basically like a section, like a vehicle boost section, which kind of like flings you forward. In a way that it kind of works in. I was about to say Mario World. Again, I'm just waking up in Mario Kart. So. That's kind of neat.
You're going to be wide awake by the time this podcast is over.
This podcast will be over, and then I'll be capable of a conversation.
Yeah.
The other thing that's really cool is that apparently, and this is a leak, apparently there is going to be a Forge tutorial in like the Academy section, which I think is really cool because in Halo 5, you come into Forge and it's like, okay, you kind of got to know it. You can go on YouTube and get some tutorials and try and learn that way. But basically, if you're not going anywhere else and you show up in Halo 5 for Forge, you just, okay, here's the whole thing. So what's cool about in Halo Infinite is when you can go, I think what's going to happen is you'll be able to go to the Academy and they'll have a whole Forge tutorial section there to teach people how to use Forge, which I got to be honest, I don't know why I didn't think of that, but I think that's such a genius idea.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a genius idea. It's nice to know that I will be handheld working on this advanced forge.
Yeah, I'll get some kind of introduction, some basics, and who knows, maybe it'll be like a Forge 101, 102, 201, 202, something where like, okay, then like a little bit more advanced ideas. So I'm personally, I think that that's really cool. I'm definitely going to go through the Forge tutorial, and you know what? I might just decide I'm going to be a 1v1 map maker, and maybe I'll just make 1v1 maps. Maybe that can be my thing I'll specialize in.
Ah, there you go. DaddyTrax Live. 1v1 connoisseur.
Yeah. Oh, a 1v1 connoisseur. I like that.
There you go. He's the 1v1. Do we throw Forge in there? Forge connoisseur. No. We'll workshop it.
Yeah, we'll workshop it. I had an idea for a map. Tell me what you think about this, okay?
No.
Okay, here's the idea for the map. The map.
God damn it!
The map basically is really kind of like hard to see in. Maybe it's like really jungly, or maybe it's kind of like an office-y kind of, you know, building or something like that, but it's sort of dense and kind of like hard to kind of see around. And there's going to be these sort of like man cannons that shoot you sort of like up and over the map, where you can kind of like look down at things that are going on. But then when you go up and over the map, it makes you like a really easy target for people who are sort of down in the map. So it's kind of like twofold. Like there's a risk of going up because, uh-oh, I might get shot out of the air, but also at the same time, I can kind of see where everybody's at. You know what I mean? I thought that would be kind of like a neat mechanic for a map. What do you think about that?
I think that would be a fantastic idea for a map.
Yeah?
Yeah, go for it. Give it a shot. See if it works. If it doesn't work, well then we'll try.
Then I thought people who are going up in the man cannons can start fighting with each other.
In the man cannons.
Well, using the man cannons, flying over.
No, it should be in the man cannons.
I don't understand. So the man cannon shoots you over.
Exactly.
So you want the man cannon to follow this?
No, just make that man cannon a very long man cannon.
Oh, okay. I just thought of another idea.
Inside of a tunnel.
I just thought of another idea. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
Okay, so it's a map. You ever see the movie Gravity?
Yes. Wait. Yes. Maybe.
Okay. The one with
that one? Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock. They're drifting through space and somehow going to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Clooney's in it. Yes.
Yeah. Now, I haven't seen that movie, but I think I know a little bit of it. Is there a section where they are dealing with like debris in the atmosphere?
Yes.
Okay, so imagine a map like this, Mystery. Imagine a map where there's very little gravity, if not, you know, maybe no gravity. But then there's these objects that are kind of in the air, and you sort of use your grapple shot to move around and shoot at each other and stuff. And maybe there's some like dead gravity zones, so that way you can kind of like stop, and it's kind of like the equivalent of like holding on to like the object that's in front of you, so you're not flying around. And then like every minute to 2 minutes, there's just a bunch of objects that come like just kind of pelting the map and can like kill you. That might be cool.
Only if we get cool explosion physics.
Okay.
It just comes in. You hear. No. Okay.
I was waiting for the explosion.
Oh right, my noise gate cut in. There was an explosion.
Oh, was it? Okay. It. On my end, it sounded like this. You're like, there's gonna be an explosion. It's gonna be like. Bzzz.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that was it. I was like,
yeah.
Where's the explosion?
There was an explosion in there.
Okay.
It was the end, unfortunately. Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't say the explosion was close.
That's a good point. Maybe the explosion's in the distance.
And also, explosions in outer space don't make sound.
They don't. Nothing makes sound in space.
Exactly.
That's bullshit, really.
Yeah, I'm gonna add that to the top tier list for bullshit. Space.
No sound in space.
One. Space is number one.
Space is definitely bullshit.
Space is bullshit, man.
100%. You got tiny little like microscopic rocks flying around, just like destroying you, and you can't even see it. You know, bullshit.
Right, exactly. Bullshit.
Putting holes in my lungs and stuff.
I should change my bullshit meter to the baloney meter.
Space is definitely top bullshit for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. So I have this one person that is at work, and he's very, very competitive, and he really wants to be a top in the bullshit meter.
Yeah.
But I don't want to give it to him.
Then don't.
So I'm gonna make Space top bullshitter, and I want to see him try to compete against Space.
Yeah, tell him to compete against Space.
Compete against Space, guy.
He's gonna be like, what? I don't even know what that means.
Exactly.
Space is full of some bullshit, buddy.
Did you hear about the MCC update that came out?
You know what? I heard a little bit about it, but I didn't see too much about it.
There's finally Halo 2 anniversary content, my good sir. What are you talking about? Is there? Yeah,
I missed it.
Apparently they're allowing for different sets of armor customization for Halo 2 anniversary.
Great.
A lot of the stuff looks kind of like Transformers or like Gundams. So
you know what? I did see that. Yeah, I saw some images of that. For some reason, I thought that was in Halo 3. Okay, that's Halo 2 anniversary?
That's Halo 2 anniversary, yeah.
Whoa.
Honestly, I'm just kind of happy to see that Halo 2 anniversary is finally getting even a little bit of love right now, because like that thing has been like completely rejected.
It felt a little abandoned for a while. I agree with you.
Yeah, no kidding. We're also getting weapon skins for Halo 2 anniversary as well, which is
that's cool.
Fun, right? They have some other kinds of sets as well. They have now changed the they changed it from seasons to series for some reason, which I think is kind of ridiculous, but I can understand why they chose to do it, because now it's all part of a catalog.
Oh, okay.
So in the catalog you have series, I suppose, and therefore, yeah. They are also changing the season points to Spartan points, and I believe they may allow you to buy Spartan points if you wanted to.
I think that's a good idea, honestly.
Yeah, so if you didn't want to do the grind, you can buy Spartan points and then, like, you know, get your get all the unlocks or whatever if you want through that.
See, for me, somebody who like loves Halo 2, and I like playing MCC every once in a while, I don't think I want to grind MCC to unlock this stuff, but depending on what the price was to kind of unlock some of these things, if it's optional, I'm totally down for that.
So that's an interesting thing that you pointed out. I've actually been enjoying playing MCC lately.
Why don't we do an MCC community night?
Yeah, if only I'm there for it. Sheesh.
All right. Sheesh.
I know, right? They've been scheduling me like Saturday nights, unfortunately, and I can't seem to make community nights.
That's okay. I get it.
They gave me a mid to closing this Saturday. How rude!
So rude. Do you want me to write them?
Write them what?
I'll be like, excuse me. RealMistry needs to be able to get out earlier on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say, well, I'm going to make a podcast called Off Your Theater.
Off Your Theater. Welcome to the first episode of the Off Your Theater podcast, where we talk nothing but movie theaters.
And we just talk shit on movie theaters the whole time. This podcast is sponsored by Netflix.
Yeah, exactly. What would the slogan just be like? Streaming for the win or something.
Oh man,
that's funny. But yeah, no, I thought it'd be interesting to bring up on the podcast. But yeah, no, they are still updating MCC. We're still getting a bunch of things. They're allowing us to be able to change the wallpapers in the background for like specific games. So if you wanted a Halo 4 wallpaper for Halo 3, you could do that.
Well, that's okay.
Like, you know, the
I don't know why somebody would do that.
Yeah, moving wallpapers that they had. I mean, yeah, it's not that everyone's gonna do it. It's that's an option.
I get that, and that's fine. That's cool.
Like, one of my favorite wallpapers was the warthog in the snow, with the snow kind of just building up on the warthog. I always thought that was a really cool, unintended, warthog.
I don't remember that one, but that sounds really cool.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know, maybe closer to wintertime, I might just decide, maybe I'm gonna change this.
All right. You know what? That does sound kind of cool.
Unintended.
No, I like that though. I definitely like that. Well, that's cool. It's good to see that they're still updating MCC, because I remember after that last content update, everybody kind of thought like, oh, okay, I guess that's it. So it's neat to see them that, you know, they're still doing things. And if they're adding weapon skins in and they're thinking about toying with like microtransactions, then very clearly they're not done with updating the game. So that MCC team is still going to be rocking and rolling with stuff, and I think that's a good thing.
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's great. I'm excited to get some more Halo MCC. I want to see more Halo 2 Anniversary made maps because I feel like it's been very lackluster.
Yeah.
For H2A, it would be nice to see some reimaginings of Halo 2 Anniversary maps.
I agree.
I think that really got like, what's it? Undershadowed? What's the word I'm looking for? Overshadowed? It got overshadowed. It got
like, you know, coming out of the gate, it was like, oh, look, new maps, and then it was kind of like left behind, maybe.
Yeah. Left Behind sounds fair, because like the only maps that we have are like the 3 or 4 that it came with, and then we got the Relic remake, which is fine, right? And then after that, it was all Forge maps that were made on Halo 2 Anniversary.
Right. And remember, this was a Halo 2 Anniversary. Originally, that was the concept, and then they're like, okay, well, let's do everything else. But Halo 2 was sort of like the main driving factor of what became the MCC. But we've gotten more Halo 3 maps than we've gotten Halo 2 Anniversary.
Right, yeah, we've gotten like 2 or 3 Halo 3 maps from the Halo Online crew that they ended up hiring after Halo Online came to be. I feel like some of those assets can probably be carried over to Halo 2 Anniversary, but you know, I'm not exactly one of those people that does that kind of stuff, so I'm not going to judge.
Yeah, can't they just copy and paste?
Is that the way it works? It's just Control X, Control V?
Yeah, you highlight the map.
Cut it. Yeah.
Control C. There's a Halo 2 Anniversary converter that you can download. You put the file in there.
Right, it's that simple.
Yeah, converts it, and then spits it out, and then you just upload it. Like, come on, this isn't that hard.
Oh, right. It's like taking a paper and putting it through the shredder. Got it.
Exactly.
You start off with a whole piece of paper. And it's converted into like shredded paper.
Bunch of little slivers. Exactly.
There you go. Nailed it.
Yeah.
First try.
We'll workshop it.
We'll workshop it. Yep, there we go. So, do you remember last week's episode?
I do remember last week's episode.
Oh, okay. We brought up something that we're gonna bring up this week's episode.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this all week and am very excited to talk about it.
Okay, so we do have time to talk about it, right?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, let's do it.
Fantastic. So last week's episode, I brought up Community Corner, right?
Yes.
Community Corner had brought up a community member named Rythaz, if I'm correct. I can't remember the name, and I don't know how to pronounce it properly, so forgive me if I pronounce it incorrectly.
You know, it's his fault for picking that name. You know what I mean?
Whom is a concept artist for Halo, or at least for 350 Industries, and has done several different concept arts. In this spotlight, there was a question that was asked about Halo's visual identity. Right. Okay. So the question at hand was, Halo's visual identity is such a powerful core element of the series. What are some of the artistic pillars that you particularly love? Right. So, and then he proceeds to answer the question, the best way he could. But it got me thinking about Halo's visual identity. Trax, do you know what visual identity is, by any chance?
Well, I'm gonna try and explain it as a layman. I think visual identity is maybe the reoccurring patterns or color palettes that exist throughout a franchise and all their artwork that kind of make you think like, oh, that's a Halo thing.
Right, yeah, that is like in layman's terms, yeah, something like that. But Google says visual identity is an umbrella term that encompasses every visual element of a brand, from its color palette and its typography to the layout of its website and its marketing materials.
Oh my god, I said color palette too.
Yeah, you did say color palette.
Let's go.
That's, you know, like, well, we're not talking about, you know, websites and branding here. I mean, we are talking a little bit of branding here. We're talking about Halo and its visual identity. So there are elements in the Halo universe that distinguish itself as Halo, of course.
Yes.
Right? It's kind of like, if you guys still don't understand, it's kind of like what distinguishes between, do you know the differences between, let's say, Donald Duck and Howard the Duck?
I don't know who Howard the Duck is.
Right. Okay. So Howard the Duck is actually like a parody character that Marvel had created
Of Donald Duck?
of Donald Duck.
That's hilarious.
And now, in the past, Disney ended up going up to Marvel and saying like, "Hey, you know, your Howard the Duck, it can't look anything like Donald Duck."
Right.
Right. And so Donald Duck has very specific visual elements that Howard the Duck is not allowed to have. For example, the lack there of pants that Donald Duck has.
I'm looking up Howard the Duck right now. Oh, okay.
Right. So there's that. And then specific things like, just as an example, like his beak, Donald Duck's beak is very rounded. Right. So Howard the Duck can't have like white feathers like Donald the Duck, can't have like a blue jumpsuit that Donald Duck has, and like no pants that Donald Duck has, for example. Right. And he can't have like a rounded, because those are all visual elements that makes Donald Duck Donald Duck.
Yeah, Howard the Duck. I mean, I'll be honest. Howard the Duck looks really close to Donald Duck, but
yeah, it is very close.
They keep showing him in like a 3-piece like suit, which I think is kind of funny.
A 3-piece suit, right, with pants, right? If I'm correct.
Yeah, he has pants too.
Right. Howard the Duck has to have some kind of pants or something on that's not.
Here's that straight beak you were talking about. Okay.
Yeah. See. So visual, yeah. So like those are specific visual identity kind of things that are very specific. So remember how you mentioned color palette in the Halo universe, for example.
Yeah.
Well, we always distinguish in the Halo universe the grays and blues are Forerunner based.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So then, therefore, Halo 4's grays and oranges are very Promethean based.
Correct. Right. If you were to go, hey, you know, like which here is Promethean, which here is Forerunner, like the first distinguishing factor that I can think of is the incorporation of bright orange.
Right. Exactly. Right. However, I mean, like when we get to the 343 kind of stuff, it's like, okay, well, I mean, Prometheans and Forerunners do kind of look very, very similar.
Yeah,
and yeah, they are Forerunners and so on and so forth. So, like, I guess I chose a bad example, but the Covenant is purple.
True.
Right. UNSC is very green.
Green. Yeah.
Yeah.
Greens and purples. The Warthog is
blue,
green.
It's purple versus green, of course.
The tank is green. The Warthog is green. Master Chief is green. The Marines are green. So yes, all green.
Right. So that's what they're talking about, visual identity for, like, you know, for, I guess, in regards to color palettes, right?
Right. The Covenant,
so,
purple, dark blue, everything's curvy.
Right. So what's something that would be like a visual identity for an elite, for example? Like if I was to create an elite, an elite character, I just call it the elite, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would I have to do in order for it to not be like a Halo elite? Because a Halo elite has what specifically that helps with this visual identity?
4 mandibles.
Right, exactly. Right, 4 mandibles, elongated head.
Right.
You know, I think it's like, isn't it 3 fingers?
The backwards knees. No,
right,
they don't
exactly.
have backwards knees.
All of those features are all part of the visual identity of an elite, which is part of the visual identity of Halo.
Right.
Make sense?
That makes sense to me.
Great. So I had a question.
Go for it.
And my question was, and I haven't figured out how to word it yet because I haven't had time to figure out how to word it yet. But let's just say, like, if we wanted to take assets or elements from the previous Halo games,
yes,
right, and create our own version of, let's say, Halo Infinite 2 or something. I don't know.
Ooh, Halo Infinite 2. Okay.
2 Infinite for you. There you go. Which Halo assets would be like? Which Halo assets from previous Halo games would best demonstrate Halo's visual identity?
In my personal opinion, well, it's a little bit tough, right? Because I think, like, whenever you got introduced to Halo, that is what you see as Halo initially, which is why certain things feel and look like Halo, but depending on when you came into Halo. For me, when I think Halo, I'm definitely thinking either Halo 2 or Halo 3. I think when it comes to, like, the Elite's armor, Honestly, I don't even think there's really that much difference between Halo 2 and Halo 3 visually, with the exception of well, like, you know what I think about? Think about the way that the elites look in Halo 3 versus the way they look in Halo 4. There's like a pretty big difference. They look very, very different. Even elites in Halo Infinite look different than they did in Halo 4.
Right, and that's due to a polygon count, right? There's more polygons.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think they... I'm trying to think of how to explain it. I guess for me, I would say Halo 2 is what I think of. The way the Pelicans are made. No, I guess maybe it's Halo 3, actually. Yeah, I think Halo 3 is what I think of when I think Halo.
Really? So, for me, in regards to elites specifically, I actually think of Halo 2 elites when I think of like Halo and its visual identity for elites. So if I was to create like another Halo game and use other assets from previous Halo games, I would pull in like the assets from the Halo 2 designed elites and bring that into my Halo game.
So I guess what I was thinking was, like, I definitely think about Halo 2 elites for sure, right? Because especially when it comes to their armor and their helmet, there's a big difference between the Halo 2 elites kind of moving forward. However, in Halo 3, I think that they had the same kind of helmets that they had in Halo 2. So maybe in Halo 2 they were a little bit lankier and longer. I think I could be easily swayed to talk about Halo 2 elites, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I found that the Halo 3 elites heads, they looked way too elongated. Now, I don't know if that's the head piece that they have in specific, because when you look at the Arbiter and you compare it to the other elites, the Arbiter has a very differently shaped like armor headpiece,
right?
Because like it stayed the same, of course, versus the elites in Halo 3.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, when I think of Halo elites, like I feel like the peak of the elite design for me was the Halo 2.
You know what? I just pulled up an image that somebody made of a Halo 2 elite in like high definition, and you know what? I'm with you. This is exactly what I think about when I think about a Halo, when I think about an elite, for sure.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna. In fact, this looks so freaking cool. I'm gonna share this in the Discord.
Okay. Right, yeah, so like for me, like, yeah, exactly, it was peak design. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that like Halo Reaches was not bad. I mean, like, I enjoyed some of the elaborate headdresses that the elites had. Like, the helmets were really cool, right? I just feel like the shape of like what would be the Halo Elite, I feel like the shape of it, like the silhouette, is a little bit more distinguishable in Halo 2 versus any of the other Halo games.
I agree. I like Halo 2 elites.
Mostly due to, well, yes, the elaborate headdress. The headdress at the top, right? But then also like the Halo 2 elites, they also kind of had like, you know, like those Batman spikes, I suppose, kind of thing on the side of their arms, kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, they had like something similar to that. And like I always felt like that kind of helped distinguish its silhouette from any other Covenant silhouette.
Sure.
Right.
That makes sense. I'm looking at some Halo 3. I'm looking at some Halo 3 elites right now. You're right. It is elongated. Their helmet is much longer, and it looks like their heads are kind of like thrusted forward a lot further than they are in Halo 2. So I'm with you. I think Halo 2 elites.
Right, yeah. So yeah, there was that. Also the Halo 2 elites versus any other elites that I've seen, the ranks were also pretty distinguishable because it was very different colors.
Yeah, right? Like the multiplayer ranks you're talking about, or no, you're talking about ranks with the elites, right?
Within the elites, like
gotcha.
You were able to tell, like, oh, well, if you're fighting like like the red and gold like elite, well, you know, okay, these are the honor guards. Well, holy shit, we might want to be kind of scared of these guys, right? Or at least the silver elites or the gold elites. You know, those are stronger than the reds and the blue elites. Right?
Correct.
The blue elites being like the minors, like the weaker ones. The red elites being stronger than that, and so on and so forth. Like moving forward.
Right.
Right. So when we get to like when we start looking at like Halo Infinite, for example, I find it a little harder for me to tell which elite is what rank. Right? When you look at Halo Reach, you can tell which elites. You can kind of tell which elites are what rank based on specifically like how much armor they have or how elaborate that armor is. Right? But the simplicity of Halo 2 and like the colors that they had, I think those were the really big distinguishing factors as to what you were fighting and how much more difficult of a fight you were going to have ahead of you.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I am looking right now. Oh boy, I just sneezed and I was able to mute myself just in time, so I'm kind of happy about that.
Well done. I'm glad I can hear.
So I'm looking at the elites right now. Oh no, this is Halo Reach. Okay, I was just about to say they don't look all that different, but that might even just like be multiplayer. I'm trying to find the different elites that are in Halo Infinite, and I'll be honest with you, most of the elites that I remember, I think were either blue or white. I don't really remember any other colored elites in Halo Infinite.
There might have been the stealth elites, and don't forget one of the biggest the biggest what's it, the Spartan killer elite. That one was like,
well, that's true.
Black and red. Then you had the gold elite, from the one of the boss battles.
Yeah, okay, well that's, yeah, I guess I was thinking like outside of the bosses, like the regular ones that you kind of come into contact with, but
yeah, and those were, though you're right, those were definitely typically kind of blue, but I guess that would kind of make sense through the lore of what the Banished are, which is mostly a brute, like what's the word I'm looking for? Clan, I guess.
A brute faction, yeah.
Action, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Right, like you're gonna see less elites within the Banished, just because the brutes are the ones that are in charge of that one.
Right.
But even and then again, Halo 2 also did have some elaborate headdresses.
Sure.
Like there was the silver elite zealots, I think, that had like the much more larger, like, I thought those were still really cool. Right, so like for me, I think the peak of like Halo, like at least elite design was probably like Halo 2. Now, if we can mix Halo 2 with some of the armor pieces of Halo Reach, I think you can have some pretty cool ideas there. Because I can't change the fact, not to change the fact, but like I like the idea of like them having like some of those, I don't know, like the zealots in Halo Reach had like those two curved like antennas on the top of their head kind of thing, and I thought that was kind of like neat, right? And it was also something that was kind of intimidating to see. Like you see that, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, no, these guys are stronger, and they will run at you, and they got a sword,
Yeah, they're like scary in Reach. Right.
So like if we were able to mix the coloring system and like allowing for like a little bit more elaborate headdresses to distinguish between them,
right,
I think you would have like a very ideal elite and Halo identity visual identity looking forward in our Halo game that we would be creating.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right, like what are your favorite like grunt designs?
Grunts for me, easily Halo 2 are my favorite grunts.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, maybe even Halo 3. I despise the Halo 4 grunts.
Right, yeah, no, the Halo 4 grunts, they were not ideal to me. I think peak grunt design for me was Halo 3.
Okay.
I liked that the gas masks were a little bit more distinguished. The fins on their back for the gas, for the methane tanks and all stuff, they were much taller, which helps with their silhouette a little bit.
Okay.
Right, and it makes them. It also makes it understandably so that like the reasoning why they're a little bit more hunchback is because of such larger tanks that are on them.
I have found a great image here right now, especially if you're in the live stream, for the different grunts between all the Halo games, which is really cool. So if you're seeing this on a live stream, top left obviously is Halo CE, top middle is Halo 2, top right is Halo 3, then there's the Halo Reach, Halo 4, and Halo 5. I really don't like the Halo 4 and Halo 5 ones. I really don't like them. I definitely like 3. I mean, you're right. 3, they're looking a little bit taller, I think. Their head's a little bit bigger and a little bit higher up. So I could definitely see Halo 3 taking it. But I'll be honest with you, I feel like Halo 2 and Halo 3, the grunts are kind of like the same thing. It's just like, you know, more updated, better polygons, or more polygons, that kind of thing.
I would say that for Halo 3 and Halo Reach.
I was just about to say the same exact thing too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I like that they added like these little spikes onto their arms, as opposed to it being like, because like we already have elites that have that, like the Batman spikes kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you look at the Halo 2, they kind of have like a Batman spike as well. But
Yeah.
they turned it into Halo 3 into more bulbous, like spiky kind of arms. So I thought
Right.
I thought that was kind of neat.
Look how spiky the arms are in
like...
Halo 5. It looks like too much like a dinosaur or something almost.
Right. I was yeah, that's what I was gonna go at. I was gonna go like, I feel like Halo 4 and Halo 5's design were more scales, as opposed to like scales.
Especially Halo 4. Like, who made that? I don't understand the decision to completely change the way the grunt looks.
I think it was more of a so then they can talk, I guess.
But they didn't even talk in Halo 4. They went.
I guess they did, but I mean, if you have that the methane tank going through the nose as opposed to the mouth, it's easier to see like, okay, these mouths are actually kind of moving, as opposed to just pretending that there's like a methane gas tank on your mouth. I
hate it. I hate the way they look. I absolutely despise it. I don't like how it's a round methane like tank on their back. Like, I don't know. I don't like it at all. This reminds me why the design of the grunts is one of my biggest gripes with the Halo 4 campaign. I remember playing it and just being like, why, man? Like, look, if you're gonna change things, have a good reason for it. Change for the sake of change, I don't think is a good thing. I really don't. I think like have a good reason for it. And the design of the grunts between Halo Reach, really, you know, Halo 3 and Halo 4, but like the original grunts, I'll say it, the Bungie grunts versus the 343 grunts, I don't understand why you needed to completely change it, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
So, I mean, some of the things that I did kind of like about the Halo 4 grunts, where when you go up their ranks, they have a little bit more armor and their tanks look a little bit more bigger. I don't know if you actually can see that at all. But like you can see, okay, like they took some elements from the other Halo games and they're like, okay, well, if I have a blue one, then like this one might be a little bit more stronger than a red one, or this one might be stronger. But the only problem for me in this situation is it's harder to tell which ones are stronger or which ones are higher ranked.
Right.
Right. So, and those ones, they actually have like full-on masks, so you don't actually see the mouth of the grunt. So, and I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I guess I just, you know what I'm realizing, and I'm zoomed in on the Halo 4 and the Halo 5 grunts right now. The mask is only over their nose in the newer grunts, leaving their mouth open.
Right.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. Okay.
I don't like it.
So I think like for us, like for the sake of visual identity in our Halo game, to make it feel Halo, we kind of stick with the Halo 2, Halo 3 grunt kind of design.
I think you could pick up. Yeah.
I would probably definitely pick up on maybe some Halo Reach and a little bit of like Halo 4's, like different colors, elaborate little armor to kind of help them. As long as it still keeps that same form and that same silhouette, you can still like properly distinguish between grunts and elites kind of thing. Well,
yeah,
not that they get anywhere near, but you know, maybe grunts and jackals can start from a distance looking the same.
But yeah, I think I'm with you. I'm gonna take like the original classic looking grunt, Halo 3, Halo Reach, whatever, like that grunt right there. I'm taking that one.
You're taking that one.
Are we just gonna recreate classic Halo?
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
We'll have to see where it takes us. What
well, I mean, look, if we're taking Halo Reach grunts, we took Halo 2 elites, so you know we're changing things.
Yeah, we are. Um, so then what about the jackals? Like, what are distinguishing features of the jackal?
Well,
We have the shield.
Correct. They have the shield. They have beaks.
Right. Yes, they have beaks.
They have beaks. Let me see here. What else
I've
do they
always
have?
associated jackals to have very bulbous kind of eyes.
Okay.
Right, and I don't think that is a thing in the more recent Halo games, if I remember correctly. We've gone from like big bulbous eyes to like this one laser sight or something on their face, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think the sniper ones definitely have that. Unfortunately, all I'm getting are all these memes of jackals. Oh, you know, here's a good image.
Oh right, yeah, because like the Halo 4 jackals, didn't they have like a hyena kind of look, like a scavenger? I mean, I guess I understand why, because they are kind of scavenger-esque. Like
this is
like,
a great.
It went from bird to like all of a sudden hyena, I think, or something.
Yeah, I have it right here. If you have the live stream, pull it up on news.microsoft.com/story/Halo 5. You can see what the jackals looked like originally, and then kind of where they're at towards the end of 343, and then where they're at in Halo 5. And it goes from being like a bird to kind of like a much shorter nosed kind of dinosaur looking thing.
Right. Okay. So then, that's a perfect place to kind of break down a character design from the classic versus the new age. I suppose.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, because when you think when we think Jackal and Halo, at least in my mind, I think, you know, okay, well, if it's a scavenger, I always associate birds as scavengers, or at least vultures to be scavengers, as opposed to hyenas or any other kinds of animals.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So, and like when you think of a unit that has snipers, or I always think somebody that has an eagle eye being a bird.
Right? Okay. Yeah.
That's the way I've kind of understood the way the jackals are kind of designed in Halo, at least in the Bungie era of Halo days, I suppose.
Sure.
I can't for the life of me seem to remember what the Halo Infinite jackals look like.
I have one pulled up right here that is loading, and they look like a weird mix between what 343 was doing and what classic Halo has. So this is a jackal right here holding a I forget what the name of the rifle is, but it's like the Covenant sniper rifle.
Oh, the stalker rifle?
Yeah, what they brought back the bigger eyes a little bit. They brought back the hair standing on the back of the head and the back of the neck. And this image has more of an elongated snout, whereas in the Halo 4, Halo 5, the head was like a lot shorter.
Like the top section of the head, like the jaw was much larger for some reason, right?
Correct.
Okay. Right, okay. So I guess the only other thing that I would probably change from the Halo Infinite design is just have much larger, I guess, bulbous kind of eyes, because like, you know, I guess, am I associating too much with Halo classic Halo at that point?
It's exactly what we're doing right now. Like I'm looking at a jackal right now from, what is this? This looks like Halo 3. And you have that very long face. And you can see where Halo Infinite started moving back to this design for sure, from where it was in Halo 5. But Halo 3, it's a very long face, hair on top and in the back. The eyes were just really big. They look, I'll tell you what, the Halo 3 jackals, they just look more menacing. In Halo 5, they almost look like sick elites, like an elite with like a really bad cough, like an old dying elite is what the new jackals look like.
Well, the other thing that's also important for jackals is, well, they are smaller, of course, than an elite, because elite has, of course, like much thicker muscles, I suppose, thicker PCs, right? And then, like, obviously, like, I guess a jackal, it being like a sniper-esque kind of character, you know, you would want it to be limber, you'd want it to be able to kind of get to places very quickly and agile, with a bunch of agile, or agilically, I don't know.
Agilically, I love it.
Agilically, I suppose. I don't even know if that's the appropriate word.
Yeah, quickly. I get it.
Yeah. But, you know, I don't know if I do like in the Halo Infinite, the the jackals, they do kind of had that semi like elite kind of legs, I suppose.
They do.
Is that different? That's different from the Halo 3 ones, right?
So I pulled up the Halo 3 one, and no, Halo 3, they have the same kind of legs. Now, I think what the difference is they have the elite legs, which I never realized.
Right?
They just have much shorter. They have much shorter legs, so which is why that you probably we never really noticed it before.
Right. But they look like they can jump fairly far. Like they can spring off their legs, kind of thing.
I will say the Halo Infinite ones definitely look more agile. They look like they're ready. They look like Olympic sort of like they look like athletes almost. Whereas in Halo Infinite, they kind of look like old drunk pirates. You know, old drunk alien pirates. They don't look like in shape necessarily. Their skin looks kind of old.
So common things that were brought through for jackals were like the fins that you had mentioned earlier.
Yep.
Right, and that the snout being very bird-like.
Yeah.
I want to say what out of all 6 games, I want to say 4 of them had the bird-like snout.
Yeah.
I think Halo 4 and Halo 5 had much more like hyena-like, I suppose, or the smaller.
This is definitely a significant change between Bungie jackals and 343 jackals for sure. There's definitely a big difference there.
Right. So, other than changing like the eyes, I suppose in this, I would actually kind of keep the design of the jackal in this one for Halo Infinite.
Really?
Because of the armor. Because look at the armor, and like
I think it looks
different colors for it. So because you got the blues, you got the reds.
Yeah, but don't you think it looks too much like an elite almost?
You're right, it does. Now, if I look at the silhouette of an elite, and I look at the silhouette of a jackal here. Right, in Halo Infinite, right? Would we be able to distinguish between the two?
I mean, I'm sure, but just because of how much bigger the elites are.
And I think that's the only thing that we're playing off of.
Yeah, I mean, like right now I got a Halo. Why can't I blow this up? Open image in new tab. Yeah, like right now I got the Jackal from Infinite right next to the Elite from Infinite. The Infinite Elite looks much more like a Spartan, and by that I mean like large torso, you know, bigger, obviously bigger. I don't love the Jackal, I don't think from Infinite, but if you want to take it, you know, I would compromise on the design of the Jackal.
Which Jackal would you take then?
I like the long beak looking kind of jackals
from Halo 2.
So Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo Reach.
I think Halo 2 had the longest beaked jackals, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine with the Halo 3 jackals.
Seeing them on in the sniper scope, they were kind of scary, actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Well, they were so deadly.
They were. I think that was what made them so intimidating.
Halo 2 jackal. Let's see here. We're probably gonna get just a bunch of sniper memes. Wow. You know what? There's a fair bit of difference between the Halo 2 jackals and the Halo 3 jackals.
There is one, right? Yeah.
They look much more. Why can't I get this image bigger? Oh my goodness. Let's see here. I'm trying to find another image. This is Halo 2. Okay, so I hate Pinterest, just so everybody's aware. I'm not sure why all these Halo images are coming from Pinterest. But I guess I'll say this. You know what? Halo 4 no, that's not a Halo. This is a Halo 2 jackal. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, I did not realize how all over the place jackals are between 343 and between Bungie, and I don't like how Google works because I feel like I'm constantly clicking back and forth trying to find a freaking jackal. All right, this is the best I can do right now. So the Halo 2 jackals look demonic, almost.
They do, right?
Yeah,
they do. It looks scary.
It does look scary. I think that I would take the image of the Halo 3 Jackal over the Halo 2 Jackal. The Halo 2 Jackal almost looks a little almost cartoonish in this one image.
Look at
at
the
least.
Halo 2 Anniversary Jackal.
Oh, good idea.
I think the Halo 2 Anniversary Jackal might be that weird mix of like
Peak Jackal.
Halo 2, Halo 2, Halo 3, and a little bit of that Halo 4, but a little bit more. It's the opposite way. Instead of the smaller snout being the top, it's the smaller snout being the bottom.
Why are videos popping up in images in an image search on Google? I don't understand. I don't get it.
Sense.
It makes no sense. Okay, so there's one thumbnail over here that reminds me of from a cutscene from Halo 2. I'm looking at that kind of like in the corner here, and I think that I really like the Halo 2 Jackals. Although I will say I think the Halo 2 Jackals have like a little bit of the beak kind of going down, sort of more similar to the Halo Infinite Jackal, which is interesting.
Right. Yeah. It's like a straight on beak versus like a little bit more of a curved.
Yeah.
You are just having a tough time with this, aren't you?
Dude, I gotta be honest. The way that Google's working here, where here's an image and I just want to see it bigger, and so I click on it and then it takes me to like a website where all of a sudden it's like so much smaller. Here we go.